All right. All right. Now, I'm going to give live footage reaction to this fight. I'm not going to miss the opportunity to have fun with this fight. It will open the card from what I understand. So I'm going to give my prediction. Now, easy fight to predict. I don't have to watch footage. I already have a good knowledge of their style. And I want to say that either fighter could win the fight. Because I think Priscila is still poor on the ground. So far, Maverick has shown better ground skills. So she might be strong enough to manipulate her. If Maverick is strong enough to manipulate her and gets her on the ground, she should have a big advantage. Priscila has just never shown good ground skill, ability to get to her feet or to do anything on the ground. She's a slugger. Priscila doesn't even throw kicks. Priscila is the most one-dimensional fighter I think I've ever seen in WMMA. When was the last time you seen her throw a kick? Even a leg kick. She don't even throw leg kicks. All she do is swing her fists. I think I remember her throwing a flying knee before. But her tools are extremely limited. Like, it's fascinating. It's at that level. Whereas Maverick clearly is more skilled, I think. But Maverick, I think, is not as tough. Priscila is extremely tough. She's very much willing to be hit, to dish out her own shots. She has an unusual chin. If you look at her jaw, look at how big it is. That might contribute to her ability to absorb shots. She eats her opponent's shots like it's nothing. Now, Priscila was involved in a slugfest with, what's the girl's name? The Brazilian girl. Ariane Lipski. Ariane Lipski has always been known as a big puncher. She has. But her shots had no effect on Priscila. And Priscila was confident that her strikes wouldn't have any effect because she was willing to just walk in and slug with Lipski. That was crazy. That was truly crazy on with both of them. So do you think Miranda has better power than Lipski? Now look, maybe Miranda hit hard enough to get Priscila's respect. I'm just saying, I don't think so. Based on what I've seen, I have to say no. Now, if Miranda can get Priscila down, I think she could win. And if Miranda stays standing up and don't get knocked out, I think she could win. Like, she has Miranda Maverick, I don't know, she's easy to catch. She's easy to catch up to. She doesn't really have the finesse type footwork. Like, say, a Rose, where you cut angles and you pivot. Miranda is more of a, just move this direction, move that direction. So I don't know if she could stay away from Priscila. But she has a fighting style where you would think that she could out-finesse Priscila. I have a hard time seeing that. with Priscilla's style. She'd march her down, insist on a slugfest, and force Miranda into doing something. And if it's a clinch, I don't know if Miranda's as strong as Priscilla is strong, physically strong. Like, crazy strong. And she might be able to kind of body Miranda in a clinch. I think it's a hard fight to make a prediction, but I'm going to take Priscilla. I think Maverick looked real uncomfortable when she was getting hit by Jasmine Jesuda Vicious. And I don't think Jesuda Vicious is bad enough to try to have a slugfest with Priscilla. I don't believe Jasmine would try that with Priscilla. So I'm going to take Priscilla. But I think Miranda is talented, skilled enough to win the fight. I could see Miranda winning the fight, but if she wins, I would suspect that it's a hard-fought fight. But she pulls it off, whereas Priscilla might destroy poor Miranda. So Priscilla has unusual power for a woman. That's important. You gotta factor that. Very unusual power for a woman. She hits girls once and they'll fall. Yeah, I'm also worried that Priscilla's gonna knock out Miranda Maverick. Miranda, just like her body language, when she was absorbing a flurry from Jasmine, looked too unsure. It was a bad response. She didn't escape. She didn't respond. There was no counter. She just looked overwhelmed that she was dealing with a flurry. Well, Priscilla throw flurries too. And they're much more powerful. Much more powerful. I think it's hard not to take Priscilla. Priscilla is, let's just say, tougher. She's tougher. She's a lot crazier. Okay? Yeah, you might be a little more skilled, Miranda. But Priscilla's clearly more cuckoo. Clearly. So I'm going to cover that live, starting at 7 o'clock. That is an hour and 20 minutes from now. And I also want to say that Whaley against Amanda is the fight of the century for WMMA. It's hard to think of a better, more historic fight than, in my opinion, just for me personally. Based on my value or respect for their skill, for their talent, their abilities. Like, I'm talking not based on a fan type thing. I'm talking based on what they've done, what they've shown, their records. They have serious power, speed, both physically strong, both can submit you. Okay. Both got dangerous striking. Whaley has dropped girls, has hit girls once and knocked them out. Stopped Joanna. That's not the first one-strike knockout for Whaley. And UFC or regional, understand it's rare for girls to get knockouts. It's just rare for them to get stopped just like that. That's why they stand out so much on the regional level. And it's even more rare for them to get one-strike knockouts, where they either stop them with one strike or they hurt them so bad that finishing them off from that point is like nothing. That's both of these fighters. Look at how rare it is for you to say that about both fighters fighting for the strap. This to me is the female version of Errol Spence against Terrence Crawford, or should I say Terrence Crawford against Errol Spence. The female version. When was the last time you've been able to say that? Look at the most recent title fight. Whaley against Carla Esparza. Could you say that about them? Absolutely not. And it's those one strike knockouts that's going to push WMMA forward, in my opinion. And they both have that ability. So that's historic. That's historic. We're dealing, as far as strikers, these are two killers. As strikers. Also, as grapplers, with their BJJ. Straight killers. So rare. So rare. For not only a woman's fight to be that way, but for it to be a title fight, that's ridiculous. Look at the title fight before that. Rose against Carla. You couldn't say that about that fight either. Whaley against Joanna. You couldn't say that. Joanna don't have power like that. She's not a closer like that. And she don't have sick BJ. Joanna has no BJJ. Extremely one-dimensional, Joanna. Look at all the title fights. Now, Rose, Andrade, you could say that. That they both have one strike knockout power. But Andrade, I don't think, is viewed as being as dangerous or as well-rounded as Amanda Lemos or Weili Zhang, in my opinion. Okay? That freakage stoppage aside, she's seen as more flawed than either Lemos or Weili in general. And to an extent, so is Rose. I think these two are more higher caliber, more dedicated, more disciplined than Andrade or Rose. This is probably the best title fight in the division's history. As far as being a contest between two very well-respected fighters. If you listen to the guys, I always said that males in WMMA, male MMA fans are a little too criticized a little too much. The men will give it up to the women, like Weili Zhang and Amanda Lemos. And it's universal. All men, all male fans of MMA respect these two. No matter what their criticisms is of WMMA in general, there are certain female fighters that men respect. That is these two. And that's rare as well. You know, it's rare because they're respected as closers. It's not so with Joanna, not so, in the division's history. So, historic matchup. Suarez, Andrade, no. No, not even going to go there. Look like this website stepped their game up. Be sure to check out WMMA Rankings. This is their Instagram profile. I use a lot of their content for this channel, so much so somebody thought I was WMMA Rankings. I am not WMMA Rankings, okay? Somebody on this Instagram profile thought, they directed a question towards me, WMMA Addict, but WMMA Rankings. No, we are two different entities. These two cards, with these two fights, with all strawweights, flyweights. Flyweight. It's crazy, right? And they're not on the same card. What am I talking about? Some of them are on the same card. Like Jesuda Vicious against Cortez is on the same card as Shevchenko Grasso 2. All right? Right. That's the only one. UFC Paris. Okay. But anyways, a lot of good fights coming up. Andrea Lee is going to set it off against Natalia Silva. Talk that fight into existence. I think Combo Breaker was the first one to point that out. And I got up here and agreed that that's the fight they need to make because that was her friend. They were backstage. She was training Victoria Leonardo before she got sparked. So this is the natural fight to make. I hope nobody pulls out. I'm taking Natalia Silva. But Andrea Lee is a skilled fighter. Won't be surprised at all. She has her moments against Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva, as skilled as she is, she can get hit, okay? But she strikes me as a seasoned veteran. She's been fighting for a long time, Natalia Silva. She's very, very experienced, very well seasoned as an MMA fighter. If you research her career, she's been through a lot. You can tell she's learned a lot. This is the best version of herself, and this is the strongest, the physically strongest version of herself. She has upgraded to 2.0, most definitely. I'm rolling with Natalia Silva. And Erin Blanchfield, listen. Based on, I'm taking Erin Blanchfield. I'm changing my pick. I'm taking Blanchfield. Look, she got better striking. That's just what it is. She got better boxing. That's just what it is. And she's got the jiu-jitsu. I don't know who's stronger. Santos is as strong as an absolute monster. Anybody who can muscle Valentina, I respect you. Deny her every opportunity. Understand, Grasso didn't even do that. Valentina, like, she just could not control Santos for no significant amount of time at all. And the one time she got to take down, Santos either popped right back up or reversed her immediately. Just totally dominated the ground game and took Valentina down multiple times. You got my respect. Anybody can pull that off. I don't know if Blanchfield can do that. Maybe she can. She is freakishly strong. This is a colossal fight, especially for a non-title fight, right? Another fight where I think most men respect both these fighters. They've earned that. And another crazy fight is if Rose goes through with this fight, I'm going to live react and give Rose all the credit in the world, because this is a very crazy fight for Rose to take on her comeback, especially after that stinking fight of hers. And it would just further prove that she is extremely unpredictable as a fighter. Just a really unpredictable fighter who sometimes wants to quit. And a lot of times needs a lot of time off. Quite often she needs a long break, and when she comes back, she's ready, she's revved up, she's ready to go. And if the UFC is willing to work with her like that, then hey, it is what it is. As far as I know with them contracts, those contracts can take forever to work out, to fight out. So if they're okay with her taking long breaks, it is what it is. Ari Ujo against Casey O'Neill is another big fight. Now, I know Casey O'Neill is kind of funny. Her style can be humorous, but I think she puts forth above average effort. She puts in, she fully believes in herself. And that's always a dangerous fighter. Even if they're flawed, if they fully believed in that flawed stuff they're doing, you're going to have a problem. That was Roxanne Modafferi. As raggedy as her punching or her boxing was, she believed in it. And boy, she threw it out as raggedy and all. It hit you, it hit you. She's scoring points. She's snapping your head back. There you go. Now, Rose, look, she might come in here bulked up and be a 2.0 herself. She might Natalia Silva on us. Come in here and beat up on Manon. Manon can be hit. This is a close fight. If Rose show up, if she truly shows up, this ain't no easy fight for Manon. Yeah? This is an eliminator type fight. And then the potential of seeing Rose fight Valentina. Rose, if she does that, pull that off, beats Manon and then fights Valentina, that would be big. And shows up for the fights. You have to respect that. That's entertainment. So we'll see what happens. I will be back here in an hour. I will be back in an hour to set it off. I will be covering this one fight live. I'm taking Priscila Cachoeira. Okay, I'm taking Priscila. Yeah, I'm not as excited about Cortez against Jesuda Vicious. I suspect Cortez is going to win that fight. Cortez might win the ground game, and if she does, she probably win the striking. So, but I don't know. Maybe not. Jasmine, a good fight. Look, flyweight division, like I said, is taking over. Here it is. I think so. It's a crazier division. Much crazier. And a whole lot more is going on. Like big fights. They're not even title fights. They're like, you got to watch these fights. Now, you can't miss some of these fights. So, yeah, good for them. The flyweight division has taken over. I will be back at 7 o'clock.